Many Christians talk today about glorifying God, and we think that we should, go out, pick up a guitar and sing some song about Jesus and, or go stand up on a stage and preach about the gospel. But our ability to glorify God is directly rooted in how much we are sanctified by God, how much we're honestly really changed. And when we go out into the world and we talk about, systematic theology or whatever it is, or we sing some song about God, what we honestly are generally conveying is a lack of how much God has actually changed us, how much God has worked in our hearts. And that's not for the lack of God's ability, that's our lack of really seeking that and even believing that we need to seek that in God. It's supposed to be how much we are made holy, how much we are brought out of foolish ideas, how much we are brought into sanctification in our hearts, the love, the holiness within us. That is what glorifies God. Jesus says that, I'm paraphrasing here, but in John 15, he says that us having much fruit glorifies the Father through him. And so it's supposed to be us being sanctified that glorifies God. And in our age, we're so quick to get up on a stage, we're so quick to go stand on a street corner and yell about God, but we have to really know God first. We have to really be changed, because you can't pour out into the world more than what you honestly believe and think, what you have still in your heart. And unless that's really changed in us, we can't glorify God. A lot of Christians talk about how we're the light and we're the salt, but you're only the light and the salt as much as Jesus changes you, as much as you are really brought out of that selfishness and that meanness and those opinions and that prejudice, all of these things. Unless that's really cleansed in you, you're not light and salt. You're that worthless salt that should be salty, but you're not the salt that you're meant to be in Christ. It's being truly deeply changed, because I see so many people who are so ready to take a stand for God, but they're so ignorant and they're so foolish, and they want to go up and they want to just perpetuate foolishness, and they think that, I don't know, like this kind of like childlike innocence makes them glorify God, but really that ignorance is so abundant in them, and they just look like fools. They look stupid, and you can't glorify God if your head is empty of that renewing work of having your mind renewed in the things of God. And just for the record, being full of theology, being full of books and study, that's not the change. The change is becoming spiritual in Christ, becoming holy in Christ, being renewed by the Spirit of Jesus and becoming like Jesus. Because a whole lot of people are standing up and writing books and doing all these things for God, and there's not a real change in their spirit, and that spirit is supposed to be the change.